is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Lord have mercy. Whoa, 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 well.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Percy's Island Games, Pinder Tile, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
I know they tried to use me and abuse me. I leave them with the brown. The work goes by so long on them plantation.
And good afternoon. Happy Thursday. This is a Talking Heads Thursday. Yes, there's Pearly in the house. How's everybody doing today? We're on Guardian Radio. It's 96.9 FM. I'm so glad to be here with you today. Man, it's getting hot. I thought the weather was changing. But hey, this has been a rough day. But anyway, I need you to be Talking Heads, and this is how you do it.
Here's how you can become a Talking Head, brought to you by BTC.
Simply call me at 323-6232, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4316, or 325-4259. That's 325-4259. Or toll-free 242-300-5720. And, of course, if you're too shy to talk, you can text. It is powered by BTC 422-4796. Yes, 422-4796. I need to hear from you. And by today, Murphy's Law was in full effect with me today. But I'm so glad to be here. Thank Lord that I was able to make it. Thank Lord we can be able to talk today, talk about some things. We just going to have a good time talking today, and I want to hear from you. But let's see what's going on in the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
But every time I open the papers, I get depressed. Anyway, here we go. Pilot on drug murder charges. Roll was shot dead on Father's Day. BUT alleges that CV Battle student threatened a teacher. Pintard shoots down claims F&M connected to political ad. U.S. Coast Guard to increase maritime patrols at Bahamian border, and a policeman admits to soliciting sex from a school girl. Lost him in jail. In the business section, IMF electricity reform could improve to 2%. Such transformation over the medium term could reduce fossil fuel imports, decrease the country's vulnerability to volatile global fuel prices, significantly reduce CO2 emissions, and substantially boost national output. Retailer says DRI out of touch on how businesses operate. Inland Revenue urging businesses to begin license renewal process. BNSI inflation up 0.5% in October of 2024, and the Court of Appeal reverses the $115K claim against Fidelity in check fraud matter. Right, so what's going on, everybody? What's happening, man? Pilot on drug. Oh, boy. Come on, people. Let's get our act together, man. We're supposed to be a Christian nation, and every time you open the paper, some foolishness going on. But I'm more concerned about our schools. I'm concerned about what's going on in our schools, and particularly what happened at CV Battle yesterday. The BUT alleges that CV Battle students threatened a teacher. See, I thought CV Battle was like the creme de la creme of the government schools. I thought that was like, the best government school up there. That's what I don't know now, because I went to the best school, SAC, you know that. But I thought that was, I didn't think they had these kind of problems there. Is there a violence problem in the schools? Are these kids getting out of hand? I don't know. Somebody got to tell me. Because I do the private school thing. Oh, and by the way, SAC celebrating 80 years. Congratulations. But I don't know. And I need somebody to let me know, because I'm trying to find out what's going on. Because this is scary. If kids could threaten teachers like that, But text. I got a text already. Great show as usual, Pearly. It's snowing all over. Question: we can't drive in the Bahamas. Imagine if it happens to snow here. Everyone car on the road mash up for real. For real, real, real. But and I got to go back to my pet peeve too. Potholes. But there's another thing that I see going on here. What happened to the striping of the roads? But first of all, we can't see in the road at night because it's dark. I don't know if that's because of my age. But everybody got their bright lights on. There's no markings in the roads. Whatever markings there are basically faded out. What's going on? These are simple things that we should be able to get done. You try to go over a road bump. That's another story if you try to go over a road bump because you don't even see the road bump till you hit it because there's no markings on the streets. There's no kind of markings on the streets. So we need to get these simple things. This is what I call low-lying fruits. You ain't got to climb the tree to pick these fruits, You just reach up and pull them down. That's all you got to do, and we can't get that right. Then people say the Bahamas ain't a real place. I keep refusing to believe that, but every day something happens make me wonder. Every time you look, you're hitting the potholes everywhere. There's 2 big potholes on the Lancey Street right in front of St. Francis Church. Potholes are everywhere, and I'm tired of making noise about it. You say something, they fix 1 or 2. There's the big pothole that I told you in front of the smoke shop on East Bay Street. It's still there. Been there for over a year. Have they finished paving Bay Street and Shirley Street? Because I can't. If they finish paving Shirley Street and Bay Street, then they got to go back. You got to go back and do it over. Because if you're not finished, because half the manholes way above the road, you got to be careful. You hit one of them, you get a blow tire. Come on, man. Things like this, it should never be an issue in the country. Things like this, you fellas playing domino all day in the back there, just come out and fix the road. Time you're down, you then finish paving one road. Patch the potholes. Let's try and make it easier for Bahamians to drive on the road. And I can make noise about this, and I can be and moan about this as much as until I start seeing some improvement. Gotta be some kind of improvement, man. Got to be. Then it says, Texas says, great show as usual. If the pilot caught with the drugs have 2 kids in QC, have a red woman and have a 2-story house paying BPL bill, I ain't condoning this action, but I come on. Oh, Lord, y'all just set me right up, eh? Great show as usual. I drive a Mercedes. These roads so bad, my band's feeling like. I say felling. I think you're trying to say feeling like a Paso. And this text, I believe you. Because it's ridiculous. Caller, you on the air. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Bruce.
My brother, how are you?
I am wonderful. This is the great
GNN Ghetto News Network. How you doing, my brother?
That's right. It don't get no lower than me. I'm on the ground. unless you're having a funeral.
I hear that. And we ain't want that. We ain't want that right now. Talk to me.
You just say we need to get ourselves together. What's happening?
Yeah.
And you falling right in your own, tripping over your own trap, man.
How I do that? Tell me.
I can tell you. Because you say we are a Christian nation.
I say we're supposed to be a Christian nation. Supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Yeah.
Not according to the preamble of the Constitution.
Well, I agree.
The preamble say we are built on Christian values.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes, it does say that.
Yeah, so if we can start this conversation, let's start it off correct.
Okay, all right. Stand corrected. Or right now, sit and correct it.
You're supposed to connect me with my...
Say it again.
What happened to the gallon of honey you're supposed to connect me with?
Oh, my GNN, that's my bad. I can take care of that this weekend, okay?
Yeah, man, I tired of these white sugar and brown sugar and black sugar and things, man. I got to get healthy, but listen, I in school.
I can link up with the good brother this weekend. I can, all right? Do me a favor. Text me your number, okay? Yeah. And I'll reach out to you over the weekend.
Yeah, but listen, the young lady in school, let me tell you something. We need to go back somewhat to the old landmark, regroup, and perform anew. What that thing what they doing in Ukraine, offensive with some of these children. They might not could have cut our skin, but they need to take the bull by the horn and be very serious without punishment.
So you calling for corporal punishment in the schools?
Well, some of it depending on the age of the children. But what happened to the school that Christy them was supposed to do for wayward children. But that she needs to be taken out of the mainstream of school and taught a lesson.
But I saw something on social media. They say the mother was claiming that ain't true.
Yeah, but the mother was there.
I wanted to say that. I just hoping somebody else would say that.
You know how these children go.
I ain't say that.
Not my good child.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what we need to do as well, Freddie? I don't understand why they don't do it. We need to hold parents more responsible
for their kids.
Children that are under 18 years old.
I agree 100%.
We need to give them some type of fine or punishment along with these wayward children.
Because you go to school to learn. My daddy used to tell me, you ain't going to school to play around, you're going to school to learn.
And you can imagine the words when they say, she tells the teacher all up under you, the KYC words and all that thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine?
I can imagine. I can't imagine. I would hope. I don't want to imagine, but I know what you mean.
But they need to put her in one separate school with kids of her kind and hold the parents responsible.
Well, they do have, don't they have the Shaw school? But there's Operation Shaw, the school where they put the kids who behave rude in a school called Shaw.
Man, they need a school bigger than that, man. Shaw needs his whole 10 people. We got plenty bad children out there. We need to go on that wherever they spend the money for that school on Wolf Road there. Open that up and put those wayward children there amongst one another.
And some disciplinarians running them, some defense force officers or some helping out and stuff.
Men in the school
system. We do need more male teachers in the school system. We do. And that's an issue.
We look at America and the ways of the world, and we adopt all of them things. Like they say, our politicians go there, sign all kind of things. Some of them can't read, but they sign it, and then they come back here, and we suffer the consequences as a fishing village.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate that, but don't go yet. The problem too is I want to go back to the point that you raised. We got to hold parents accountable.
Yes,
for what their kids do, because too many times, I don't know the full story, but I tend to believe that I don't think Belinda Wilson will pull her teachers out of there if it isn't that serious. I don't think she can make that up like that.
Let me tell you, I can take you back. I know Belinda Johnson personally. You know the Zion College.
I hear that, yes.
Okay, then I know her personally from John's College, St. John's College, Green Giants.
Yes.
Belinda and I went to school.
Yes.
She's a no-nonsense woman, and she ain't gonna lie on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Okay. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Boy, caller, you on there. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, right here, man.
Everything cool?
What's up?
Hey, listen to that. They know some of these kids, they know these bad apple in these class. They know these guys, they are, some of them smart, and some of them ain't really could communicating, and they don't understand like that certain things, right? So what they need to do, make a program for these guys. That's when we can start doing our agriculture and start giving them hard labor.
Make them go.
If they don't go to school, then you start learning how to plan and grow food.
Yeah.
See, you got to realize this. If they want everyone to be doctors, lawyers, we got to understand, we got to realize a lot of these kids are growing up with their brain ain't functioning right and their brain ain't developed properly. See, they're not accessing these kids properly. You understand?
Because that's social promoting. That's finish grade 1, put them in grade 2. Grade 3, we're not making sure they're prepared for grade 2, 3.
That's correct. They pushing. My little girl is going to King's College.
Kingsway.
Kingsway. And the amount of work they give her, and when I was growing up, I don't know how I could deal with that.
I know.
And people told me, this teacher, she's doing after school class. She said they're giving these kids is too much to push down in their brain. It's too early. Why do you think a lot of parents do homeschooling? If you calculate the homeschooling and going to school, some of them learning much better.
Okay.
You understand, But you have to root out these kids, man. You can't let them go through the system and they ain't learning.
No, that's true. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Back in the day, when my old man went to SAC was 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. When you go to school, you got PE, you got sports, you got study hall, and then when you finish all that, you go home 8 o'clock, you done finish all your schoolwork, you done do all your homework and everything. Do we need to go to that in this country? Do we need the longer hours in school?
Man, we need to find somebody. We need to find somebody how to deal with this problem. See, they keep talking with the parents and this. Listen, good job. I called the talk show earlier and I tell them I was in the system too. I used to go home, my mother thought I was a good boy too. That's why sometimes the mother say, oh, that's my good son. Oh, he don't cause no problem. When you sure and them go home and they home laying up washing dishes, cleaning the house and everything and all that. Mommy, you know, they get gun hide nowhere or nothing, drop nowhere. They think it's because the mommy trying to, she coming home late in the night by herself trying to work for 3 and 4 children, so she ain't got no time. She only can see the good part.
Yeah.
You understand?
And she can't make the PTA meeting. She can't make none of them things because she got to work.
Man, listen, I used to play basketball. My mother never been to my basketball practice, but she know I was coming home with trophy and everything and all that. I going off to visit colleges and everything. I'll be my cousin going to the airport by herself, no parents.
Wow.
They had to go there, but she never tell me no. She had the money in there. She had all the plane tickets and everything right there for me to go off.
Okay.
You understand? And then the next thing is this daddy. You know, I didn't raise up with no daddy. And I didn't turn out to do. I been around with all the drugs and the guns and all them things around too. I didn't turn out the guys who go up with. I thought about pastors, kids, some turn out they was the one who controlling all the drugs. and the police officers, them kids, everything and all that. They the one who had to come to school to grab the kids. The kids the one who doing all the thing. I'm so come on, man, stop putting these things on these parents and all that. These deadbeat daddies, some need to step up.
That's what I was about to ask you that. Do we need to put something on the daddies? You put the baby on the mother and you don't go back, or because the mother say she ain't want to be with you no more. You ain't doing nothing for the child. Or if you see the mother with another boyfriend, you mad. You ain't doing nothing for the child. You holding back. We should.
Man, you hit the nail on the head. I just because I was dealing with a lady yesterday. I don't know. My wife, my ex-wife. Sorry, but she had a daddy. She had the man but she didn't want him no more. He stopped taking care of the child. He's taking care of my child, boy. And that's why my daughter with now I have. I will listen because I ain't go up an old man, but I promise myself I will be there for mine.
Yeah.
And a lot of these men, the motive of the woman who give them no more, they want the woman who want you no more, go out and get something else.
Yeah, move on.
Listen me good, boy. My old man died with a few. He had must have been 2 stroke or whatever. He had 6 kids. He didn't even his wife's kids. He didn't take care. Wow. And none of them. When he died, I was the only one gone to the place to hear him and forgive him. You understand? But when he died, no one cried. No one cried for all his kids, and they could take care of him. See, a lot of these men in the system now, they gonna have to later on now, all these women who they with, and then they with these women them who ain't telling them to go take care of your children.
Yeah.
You get 5. How come he coming to you every day? You know he get 5 kids.
Yeah.
You get 5.
Yeah.
You only want me, you're 5. So you tell the man, go home and take care of your child.
Take care of your child.
That's a respectful woman.
Yeah.
And a lot of women out there doing so. See, hey, just go deep.
Well, I understand. Thanks for the call, brother. Appreciate that. Callers, don't go nowhere. We coming right back. We can take our first break. When we come back, call, I can talk to you. You stay right there. Don't you go anywhere. This is Pearly, Guardian Radio 96.9. It's a Talking Heads Thursday. Be right back after these quick messages.
Goes by so long and them plantation and me never get paid. Of all they stole away, how many life them slay. Now them work just slap them in them face. Why are you and your crew can go too well? Cause after we know under you could only and spell. And all those fans that you compel.
The KFC chicken experts have done it again with the new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich, featuring a large 100% premium 120-gram mesquite bacon, lettuce, tomato, and tangy red onions, all drizzled with ranch sauce and served on a toasted brioche bun. Choose original recipe or spicy, but don't wait. This mouth-watering masterpiece is only here for a limited time and only at your favorite KFC. The new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Pinda is carrying a new line of tile, the Sky series of porcelain. Comes in 4 colors, tones, and shades. There's Sky Noir, Sky Azure, Sky Glance, and this one, Sky Green. Sky Gray, as you'd imagine, gives you a smoky kind of feel. It's not heavy and depressing, but gives the area a chill feeling. The Sky series comes in two formats, 24 by 24 at $5.30 a square foot, 12 by 24 at $5.25 a square foot. I really like this series for big spaces, and being porcelain, they can take a lot of series at Printer Tile.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
And welcome back to Talking Heads Thursday. This is Pearly on Guardian Radio. So good to be here with you today. Caller, you are on the air. How you doing?
Yeah, blessed Pearl.
My brother, how are you?
Yeah, firstly, we got to get, I don't want you to bet on the Chiefs, again with the Bills. I don't like that, you know what I mean? But this time, but listen, the last gentleman who's on the radio, he's terrible. He's a good man. He's one of a kind, but the thing is with me, and he said he humanized so many stories, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, some of them are true.
Yeah, they're very true.
As it relates to me, I didn't have my first child until I was about 34, 35, so by then, me and the first baby mother, she moved back on the island, but, I held my head up high and sent everything.
Okay.
For my first daughter, and so she put me on Facebook. My 9-year-old has asked me for hugs, but what I want to say is as it relates to Belinda Johnson Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Like GNN, we read this in John's, and so let me tell people something, in case they're trying to know who Belinda really is. Let me show you her as I know her as a young man, because she was she was like in a couple of grades, when I was in grade 9, she was getting ready to graduate.
Okay.
I know Belinda as a person who would come around and help people. She was ever like that. She would help people with studies and understanding things. This boy should be able to tell you that.
Okay.
So this is how I know her. And that one over. So I'm not going to get into, you understand me?
I understand, yeah. A caring person.
What the gentleman was saying, right?
Uh-huh.
On GNN, right?
Yeah.
We know about positive and negative reinforcement. Schools Brown had mentioned it, right?
Yeah.
To get the desired effect. There was a psychiatrist by the name of Skinner. I can't remember his first name, but he did an experiment called operant conditioning. I talked about it on the year before.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, and so there are 4 types. We don't need to get into it, but sometimes you need a positive reinforcement to get desired effect immediately after certain behaviors. But, the young, I heard the story about the young lady. It's really scary, but I can't blame Miss Wilson for protecting teachers.
That's her job.
So you're talking about security, but, in the 21st century or the 21st century, however you see it, right? You people need to be armed around the schools. Now, whether it be the police or whatever, they need to stop taking it for a joke. It's not a joke. They don't live there. What I see in the inner city and the delinquency, come here, buddy. I don't know what you are. See, the problem is about human beings, right? Most of us. We don't like to acknowledge problems. If you're not conscious, how could you be conscious about a problem and not dealing with it?
Uh-huh.
And you allow it to perpetuate. So let's say political clairvoyancy from the status quo. The country has been increasing in population for decades now, but nothing is being done to address that, much less deviant behavior. You understand what I'm saying?
I understood.
Yeah, so I can't say that what is happening or what is not happening. We can see it happening, but we're still in denial.
Yes.
And that's not gonna fit in. My daughter just turned 9 about a month ago.
Okay.
She goes to a government primary school. I went to a private school, but I also went to a government school. So I realize it's a conjunction. I mean, it's a collaborative effort with the teachers and you, the parent.
Yes.
So at this kind of time, I'm not always working. And you believe it, I always tell her about reading. So I bought a book from Anku, and then I decided that I said, Terry, you can start reading the newspaper. So I sat down with her, and we went through the headlines, and we went through the newspaper. We started reading about a week ago.
Okay.
And she said, Daddy, you need to come and read the newspaper. All of a sudden, she wants to read the newspaper. And
Super.
Pearly,
Uh-huh.
I was stunned on how well she's reading.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. It's just like I reading.
Okay.
And now she got my little 2-year-old in the room, and she reading the Bible.
Okay.
And so, I just trying to put that together for the people. You see,
I understand.
So I don't know. It's a collaborative effort. It's hard for single parents. That's why the guy humanized the story in the previous call. And so, you even if they have other sisters, I have my oldest daughter is 25, so if something happens to me, there has to be something set up. But he's right. The thing is, with the behavior, what I see in the schools, my 2-year-old and what I see now, I have to go. I can't allow my daughter to go to a government school, a certain government school, because the violence, the level of violence, Pearly, I don't know what I'll do if I see something happened to my child. I really couldn't say.
I understand the feeling.
The government have to set up a model. I want Mr. Wilson to listen to me. The teachers need to have some kind of co-op where they can make money on the side and come and tutor the children home or set up their own little private school and people would pay. Some schools are a breeding ground and a substrate for gang activity and BS. It is embarrassing what is going on in the schools today. It is sickening, and the government must address this problem because they have allowed these schools to fill up with a bunch of half-breeds. Now, I ain't worrying with them. That's what it is. Bless them, y'all.
Oh, my goodness. But, you know, when I took my oldest boy to school for the first time, kindergarten, and the then principal, Diane Forsyth Sapero, said to me, the parents that participate in every aspect of the children's education are the ones that do better. And I wasn't quite sure what she's trying to say, but when I thought about it, it isn't just making sure they get to school. It isn't just making sure they have the right uniforms. It isn't just ensuring that they do their homework. It is also participating in any school activities with your parents. If my daughter was only reading Good Morning, Welcome to Our Assembly, I was there, taking a picture, supporting her. I went to the school plays. I participated, my wife at the time participated as a room parent. I became the PTA president. And my kids all graduated pretty much top 3 in their class. So it's what you do and how you participate. It isn't, while I brag about St. Augustine's, and while I say that, and that's indoctrinated in me, it isn't just the school, you know, because you have some kids that don't do well in soccer as well. It's how you make it a collaborative effort, like 52 said, that the parents participate, the parents talk to the teachers, the parents make sure it's all about. What you say, caller? You on the air?
Hey, good afternoon, Burley.
Hey.
Yeah, well, I agree with some of the things that's been said. You know, when the gentleman, the only thing I have a difficulty in this country, right, is that we as parents, right, what you said is factual and that's facts. You can't run from that. When parents participate in their kids' development, they become better individuals, right? But would we be? Where we going wrong in this country? We're not teaching our sons and our daughters how to or how to bring kids into the world, right? Right? Because we have to understand if you bring in children in the world, right? Because if you like this fella, how you look, or you like this girl, how you look, right? You know, it can become a vicious cycle. You know, the women aren't being taught on which type of men or how to look for men, so they find themselves with men. Unfortunately, would grow up emotionally from a mother who right, and possibly they ain't had no father. The cycle is so vicious, right? Because we ain't teaching our people how to stomp this vicious cycle, right? If a girl looking for a man and she didn't know this fella, then have 2-3 children with an ex-woman, or he didn't have she didn't do a check and see that he has a trend of not taking care of her child, and then she go have a child for that same type of man, right? And then she want to be the one to be complaining about X, Y, Z, and vice versa too, you know, because you find men having children,
and you find women having kids for men who just shouldn't be making children.
And well, this is the point I'm trying to get across. It's a vicious cycle because children are being born in this country for sweetness, not the fact that we have that the parents have plans for their arrival, right? Just oops, oh, you pregnant? Oh, we got, and that's how a lot of the kids are being reared. They're not planned babies.
Yeah.
So if you ain't planned to have a child, it can become frustrating for you to deal with something you didn't make no preparations for, my brother.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: ain't nobody was more of a playboy than me in my young days. I from St. Augustine's time. I had girlfriends in St. John's, and A.F. Adley, and CC, and QC. I had girlfriends all over the place, but I was always wanting to say, when I have kids, I'm going to be a father, and I'm going to be there for my kids. I'm not condemning anybody who had kids out of wedlock or anything like that. I'm not condemning anybody. But I tell you what Pearlie did, And I made sure that I was a part of my children's life. And I spoke to 3 of my kids today, and they all their 30s.
But let me tell you the story. When I was growing up, right, you know what people used to call me? They used to call me Blue. I get used to what? Blue. They used to call me all type of names. They used to tell me I can't have no kids and all.
Yeah.
I didn't want no. Well, when I was growing up, I'm the last person in my family to have a child, or all my friends to have a child. I had my first child when I was 88 years old, my brother.
Okay.
Because I really wasn't interested in having no child, especially out of wedlock.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because why? I came up inside a home with the same type of policy, and and then both of my grandparents them was married to the devil. So this is a long trend.
Yeah, I understand.
Right?
Thanks.
So
Okay.
we have to teach our people them like if you go by that woman in the house, you know the song we have this beaming song with them what we should play more. If you go by the girl fellows in the house, steady and flies running around it. Well, that's how you, when you your mother, that's how it can be for you.
I know the song.
Yeah,
I think the song that I can't remember. I think it might have been Stelito, dude. I don't quote me on that, but it's talking about if Jamar shape bad, that's how she can shape and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no, it's with the next guy named man. With the next he's not Stelito, man. You all know him, man. His brother used to be a religious singer.
I can't remember the name, but I know you're talking about. Yeah.
But he got some really nice songs.
Yeah.
But that song right there, my brother,
I don't know. I see producer can find it.
women.
I can see producer can find the song. I can talk to him on the break. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Take time. But it's if you come to a girl house to visit her, and you see how the house look, and she ain't and am I making a clean house, what you think she can do when you not get together? Text. Good afternoon, Pearly. Tell GNN to try monk fruit sweetener is way better. Okay. Instead of the honey saying. Great show as usual. Great show as usual. Bahamian see agriculture as a Haitian job, so they will not get dirty and enter the field. And that might have been back in the day, but a lot of Bahamians are getting into farming. A lot of people are doing some backyard farming, and it's just something you got to encourage. Great show as usual. When the woman don't give sex, the daddy stop giving money, and that's and you would this do it, you would that do it, and that's what's sad about the whole thing. How you doing? Where my caller going? You impatient with me? Eh? And another thing I see here that really got me upset: policeman admits to soliciting sex from a school girl. You supposed to be watching these kids. A 38-year-old police want have sex with a 13-year-old girl. Come on, man! You can't be serious. What impossible that y'all two can have in common? Because she may be very built maturely, her body is grow faster than her age. That you think, no, man, no. Caller, you are on the air. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother. How you doing?
Yes, I'm good. This is the first time I'm calling.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, listen to your show a lot, and I've been wanting to call, but this session that you're having with regard to the school kids and how we bring up our kids.
Yes, sir.
Today.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say that I'm enjoying it, so I just wanted to, like I say, to take part.
I appreciate that. Go ahead.
I know how important it is to children guided. You must, especially as fathers, take responsibility for your children's education. I have 2 kids.
Okay.
My daughter is now 24. My son is 22, going on to 23.
Okay.
Now, every step of there's every stage in their lives that is involved, because I know that these kids are mine. These are my seed. I'm not leaving anything else in this world that will always be mine.
Yes.
Even after I'm gone.
Yes.
Other than my kids, my seed, I call them. So I believe it or not, at the age of 5, I took my son into in hand, I call it. I everything pertaining to his education, I made sure that I was involved in it.
Okay.
Homework, everything, every movement with my daughter and my
Similar.
son, I was involved.
So was I. So was I.
I did my son. I said, listen, I'm going to take him in hand with all of his schoolwork and everything that I knew that is when they really begin to formulate things.
Yes.
And I did that until he was 14 years old.
Okay.
And so recently, my son told me that, he said, Daddy, I'm thankful to you for what you did for me.
Amen.
My daughter, believe it or not, both of my kids have graduated. Actually, my daughter just graduated from University of Central Florida.
Amen.
Full academic scholarship.
Excellent.
My son is at UB right now.
Okay, wonderful.
Doing biochem.
Doctor in the making.
Academic scholarship.
Doctor in the making.
Yes, full scholarship, my brother.
Excellent.
It's what you put into these are just vessels that come to you.
Yes.
And you fill them with whatever you want to fill them with.
Yes.
That's what they're going to live from.
Yes.
That's what they're going to strive from.
Yes.
The fathers have a responsibility, regardless of what, how the other, regardless of my wife, she followed the principles that I set down in terms of these kids. So I'm proud of my kids, and every do the same thing. It's not difficult. These kids come with nothing in them. They come with zero.
And they're sponges. They just absorb what you teach them.
Pardon me?
They're like sponges, looking for to absorb what you give them.
Yeah, they come like a new sponge without a drip of water in it.
Amen.
And then you soak it in the liquid that you want it to become.
That is right.
And how often you want to have that soaked, and how much you want to soak that.
Amen.
What you want to use it for, and how you want it to be sustained.
That's right.
It's us,
It is.
We have to be parents. I tell you, my kids. Just before I go, I had my kids involved in a little after school curriculum. My daughter had her doing a little tennis. My son was doing some swimming.
Yeah.
So I had, right at the sports center. I was between both of those. Consistently. I spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes. My son, I run across by the tennis side to give my daughter, let them see that I'm there.
Yeah, that's important.
Support them. Once you do these things, man,
that's important.
It's easy.
It's
easy. And then you can have a fulfilled life in your older age, whereas you won't have the stress and all.
I agree.
But always, one thing people must always remember too is put God in their kids.
Amen.
Put God
Amen.
in their children.
Yes.
Let them know about Him.
Yes.
And it'll be better for all of us.
Thank you so much.
Just wanted to share that.
I appreciate it. Thanks, and don't
man,
hesitate to call again. Okay. Appreciate that. I've said this before, and one of the things I said to my kids is, when you go out there, you're going as Earl and Ava kids. You're not going as your name. And when people come back, they can say, that boy Earl got it, that girl Earl got did this. And I always tell you, encourage you, you're representing your parents. And one of the greatest compliments, and I say this all the time, and you can hear me say this again sometime soon. When I went up to St. John's University for my son's graduation, the president of the university came to me and shook my head and said, thank you for sending me two fine young men. You know how much that meant to me to hear a president of the university said it about my two kids I sent from Nassau, Bahamas, up all the way to Minnesota? That's the kind of things that you're supposed to do to look to get back. It's they represent you, and you got to put the time into your children. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Good afternoon, son. How you doing?
Thank God for life. What's up?
This is my first calling in.
And I do appreciate that.
Sure. But I've always been listening to you all.
Thank you.
Doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
Today's show, I had to call in.
What's on your mind?
It's really so empowering, I think, for men. I think it's a great thing for us as women to hear. There are still some great men out there.
Yes, they are.
And I think we want to encourage such a show. I think a lot of men need to be affirmed and confirmed as men, by men, and to let them know that, hey, they have a great responsibility to assist in the rearing and the caring of their children. And it's what they put into it, their children, they'll get back.
Thank you.
Like everything else what you put in,
you get back out.
You get it back.
Thank you.
And when you're there, people will always be there for you.
Amen. I say amen.
So keep the great work.
Thank you.
And God bless you all.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you so much for the call. And that call is so correct. That call is so right. You know, it's so right. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Hey, Pearly.
Hey.
What's up?
You tell me.
Boy, look here. In my school days, you couldn't do no foolishness. The teacher tear up your hair, and if your parents know you did some nonsense, you get another cut skin.
Well, that happened to me in grade 5. I get beaten from the principal and gone home and get another beating for getting in fighting school. That's the last time.
I don't know where we get this attitude from. See, we will copy everything America do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what got us in this scenario where they train them.
Watch too much TV. Watch too much TV.
No, we got to get serious.
That we do.
If you want to put the discipline back in the teacher's hand,
Yeah.
nobody could discipline the children. So what you think happened?
Yeah, I agree.
Huh?
I agree.
And that's what we are. And we need to go back to the good old days. And, I tell you this, I used to walk about 2-3 miles to school.
Okay.
These day and time, they train them doing how they walk 10 feet. Everybody give money. And you missing Spike when the trainer, they bring their parents up to the parents come to the school and all kind of
Some bringing the big brother.
That ain't right. See, we create the monster.
Yeah.
Not everything what America do, we do.
No, I agree. I agree.
But I call you to say this, and I can still call in. We need to get these roads together. Well, I just changed some shocks.
Tell me about it.
Man, look here. Carmichael Road is terrible. I don't know.
It is.
Coming from Glaston Road heading west on Carmichael Road. Man, you got a duck drive. Man, I don't know.
Try Joe Farrington Road.
Boy, I don't know what's going on all my life. Just the waste I ever see the road.
I know. They ain't doing nothing to the roads. Ain't nobody checking.
I know they get rid of the other fella, the other minister. They bring this new one.
You pay any Lutra?
Yeah, but we got all the cars here. We pay plenty tax here. We pay gas tax. We license our car.
Yeah.
And then you got to be paying all kind of car because they dropping them all and the sharks go.
No, but all they doing is talking about what they gonna do, what they plan to do. This on the plans. No, don't tell me what you plan to do it, man.
We can never get these.
Elections on.
They need to hire more people to pave the road and buy the equipment.
I agree.
We in trouble with these roads. You can't drive the road. When they pave, they take them a whole year to pave Cowpen Road head and east.
Still ain't
from
finished.
Fate Avenue.
Still ain't finished.
I still ain't finished.
I got you. Anyway,
Well, I don't know.
My producer tell me I gotta go.
Yeah, all right.
Take care, brother. Let me read these last 2 texts before I go. These pedophiles need to be weaned out of society. There's too many of these predators in our everyday life, moving around as normal civilians. The government needs to take this seriously, or they will wait until it is at their doorstep. Pearly, can I be frank with you? Men don't have no regard for age when they are turned on by what they see. That's the sick-minded freaks that we think they are men. For real. Wow, I did not come here to talk about that today. I was supposed to have a guest today, and I brought this up, and I am so happy that we were able to talk. And I just want to say before I go, brothers, don't worry if Mary with Joe, that's your child. At the end of the day, that's your child. And find a way to be in your child's life. Not just sending school fees or not just sending a couple of dollars or some groceries. Spend time with your children. Put some time into it. If it's only an hour a week, do something with your children. On that note, I want to say thanks for the calls. Thanks for the text. When we get back, we talk sports. We got the Bahamas Youth Flag Football crew in here. We're going to talk about how they performed at the World Flag Football Championships. My favorite coaches here. So happy to be here. Thank you so much. I'll see you right after the news when we talk sports. Pearly, Talking Heads Thursday on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Cuban Billy's on his way.
You sign, cause some things get you victimized, and it will get you paranoid. So burn them out.
NRG is nutrition. Check out our world-famous smoothies, signature quinoa dishes. We have the best salad and breakfast fit for a king and his queen. Open for breakfast, lunch, and now dinner. Each order is made with love and the highest quality ingredients and is nutritionally balanced. Visit any of our 3 locations. Old Fort Bay, open until 7:30 p.m. West Bay Street and Gladstone Road in the Monrose Complex, open until 4 p.m. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at NRG Bahamas. NRG, nutrition ready to go.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Feeling lucky? Here's Cuban Willie's numerology report. Brought to you by the Island Game.
Buenos dias. Hello, good to see you. Today is Thursday. And I got the lucky four balls for you. It's time for my numerology report, brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. And the lucky cuatro pelotas today, 81-41, the A1-4-1. Play it and win with the Island Game. Stay winning, my friend.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Crunch your hunger cravings and satisfy just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large size for flavor that will make your mouth happy and your feet dance. Order online or WhatsApp hi to 557-3663 to grab your KFC bucket today. Big flavor, bigger value, and always KFC. Finger licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Percy's Island Games, Pinder Tile, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
Welcome back. This is a wonderful Thursday, a wonderful Talking Heads Thursday. This Pearly in the house. Time to talk sports. I got my Bahamas youth flag football crew in the house. It's so good to have them here, but let's get right into what we talk about first. Today in sports history, and today is Thursday, January 23rd. This is already the 23rd of January. It was just Christmas last week. I just opened up the one gift I get last week. All of a sudden, it's almost, somebody said, it's going to be Valentine's next week. Then it's going to be Independence the week after that, and we'll be right back into Christmas and their 2025 finish. But let's see how it goes. On this day in 1879, the National Archery Association was organized in Crawfordville, Indiana. In 1944, records for the most goals, most consecutive goals, and most points in a game. The Red Wings beat the New York Rangers 15-0 and had a total of 37 assists. In 1950, NFL owners approved the unlimited substitution rule that had been used on a trial basis for 1949. In 1966, the Detroit Red Wings ended a streak of 47 straight wins when leading after two periods. The streak started on November 21, 1964. In 1982, Diana Ross performed the U.S. national anthem at Super Bowl. That's 16, I think. I think that's right. XV, anyway. In 1985, O.J. Simpson became the first Heisman Trophy winner to be elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. In 1988, at the Quaker State Open, Bob Benoit won a $100,000 bonus and became the first bowler to win a televised tournament by rolling a perfect 300 game. I don't even know if I ever rolled 100. In 2002, the NHL fined Theo Fleury of the New York Rangers $1,000 for making an obscene gesture to fans after a game the night before. They nowadays curse you. Sports quote of the day: power is not revealed by striking hard or often, but by striking true. Honoré de Balzac. whoever that is. Boy, interesting. Let's find out what's going on in the sports quick, and then we can start talking to my good people here from flag football. If I ever can find anybody put the sports page. There we go, right here. Oh, this is the best sports page the Guardian had in a long, long time.
See that name right there? Diore Scott.
Diore Scott
I
joins.
tried gymnastics.
You did? I know a ma, I know a grandma, I know a whole family. Diore Scott joins list of Carifta qualifiers. Blue chip athletes now have 6 qualified athletes. She's from SAC. You should say that. She's from SAC.
Oh, Lord.
SAC edges St. John's in tight battle, and BRRC Cup members perform well in 2024. See that when you get 2 stories from SAC, that makes the paper really special, you know? And
So when I look at that, I don't see sack. I see, oh, look, my little gymnast.
Yeah, but that's all right. But we just can put it in full reference, you see?
She's
Good
an
Catholic kid.
She's an athlete from birth.
Yes, she is.
Okay? She's
Yes.
been an athlete from
Yes,
birth.
yes.
Anything she's done very
And
well.
she has done well, and she's a good student. A grandmother taught at St. Augustine's, a mother and an aunt, and everybody, all us went to SAC together. So the watcher, I've been watching her from she's a child, and this watcher grow is always so proud of her.
Yeah, she's doing very, very well.
So Bahamas Youth Flag Football is in the house. What's happening?
Not much. Tired.
So we got Coach Akeem. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Coach Akeem. Then my favorite coach, Coach Nan. And that's your name. Why say Nan?
Nate.
I know. Why say Nan?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's some flowers for her next time you come
And
on.
every time she comes there, she's just be smiling, but she just make my day. Like, yeah.
Bring her some chocolates or something,
Something.
really.
Valentine's coming up.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, there you go.
And of course, Muffy, so good to have you here. And we got one of our players. What's your name, young man?
My name is Cameron Deal Coakley.
Say it again.
My name is Cameron Deal Coakley.
Cameron.
Yes, sir.
Deal
Coakley. You've been all your government name.
That's his mommy.
I know. And you and 8U under 8 flag football.
Yes, sir.
And how was your experience? This your first time playing in away?
No, sir.
Oh, you're a veteran.
I played with 10U, and now this is my second time playing away.
Okay. And how was it?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. You look forward again the next year. This year. Earlier this year.
so.
That's right.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't want to drop them because you had to play in the rain, eh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna rain this next time. It can be all right. All right. So, Muffy, how did we do? We took 4 teams.
Yeah, so we took 4 teams. We took an 8 and under, 10 and under, 14 and under, and 16
We
and
took
under.
one from each age group.
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to say one of each age group, then we would have had 6 million teams out there. But so
I mean, the Bahamas took one from each age group.
But we took one, yeah.
Okay.
So our 8 and under, I would rather, since we have 2 coaches here,
Yes.
the 8 and under and the 10 and under coach, I'd rather them tell you how they did with
Okay.
their scores, and then I can always fill in the blanks for the other 2 that are
Under
not
14
here.
and under 16.
Correct.
So, Coach 8U, tell me what happened.
Well, our first day started off a little shaky. Kids had to get used to the weather. We were playing in 50 degrees, which is kind of new for us Bahamian kids.
Yeah.
So first team we played against, first of all, we were ranked number 30, last on the perspective.
Is that
for
because this is the first time you're coming there?
Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
no points on
So
the board.
let's put that in perspective.
Okay.
We first played the team from Hawaii, which was ranked number 24. We lost by 1 point to that
Okay.
game. A little shaky, it was cold. Then my kids got warmed up.
Okay.
So we faced the number 4 ranked team.
4, okay.
And that's how I know these kids were ready. So we able to beat the number 4 ranked team 12-6.
Okay. Okay.
All right. This kid right here to my right, Cameron. He's our QB, he's starting QB. Threw a long bomb to our running back.
Yeah.
To get the game winning touchdown.
Uh-huh.
So that started off a great day.
Okay.
That was a great Saturday.
Okay.
But then Sunday came, and along with Sunday, unfortunately, with 50-degree weather and storm and rain,
Okay.
made our experience a little more difficult to bear. So
Okay.
we lost our first bracket play to a team from Miami,
Okay.
12-0.
Okay.
And that's mainly because the weather. We were against the team, the refs,
The
the
elements.
weather. Everything is against us, and it's the kids' first time, but they did pretty well. We had a kid had a interception, Grayson.
Okay.
He had an interception, so our defense was pretty good. We were only able to hold them to 12 points.
Okay.
But unfortunately, you get pulls on the field, running game, and our passing game couldn't get off because of everybody just sliding and slipping and sliding. So it's kind of difficult. It was new. wasn't quite prepared for the weather aspect of it,
Okay.
but the kids did pretty well, man.
But you
I'm
take
pretty
your
proud of
chalking
them.
up the experience and you know what to do next time.
Definitely,
And the kids will
definitely.
be ready.
And listen, at 8U,
Oh.
right? The 8 and under. So the game also had to get paused in between
Yeah,
because
3-hour delay.
of the rain. So it
Yeah.
started off storming. And we played at the beginning in the rain, and then it got to a point where it was like a mini hurricane in a way.
Yeah.
In this little mini hurricane, while they were still playing, we had it was me under a tent with like 3 other parents, and we had to hold our tent down
yeah.
that's already staked in the ground so that it wouldn't blow away.
Wow.
Right? So really bad weather. Then it had to stop. The game stopped. Then we had a break, probably about an hour and a half.
3 hours, actually.
Yeah, almost 2 and a, well,
Because we
could
started
get
at
back on-
9:35
yeah.
and then we gone back after 12.
Yeah, so it was a 3-hour break.
Okay.
By this time, they're wet, they're cold,
Yeah.
because
miserable.
they're in all of their wet clothes. The the kids were coming over to us and like, can we just forfeit the game and go home?
Well, I wouldn't say all of them.
Not
One
all.
or two.
One or two. One or two. That's true. There was one or
But that's
two.
understandable.
So,
I probably wouldn't want to
so
go home.
mentally, you know, when
Yeah,
it
they
came
weren't
time to go back into the same game that they were just in, you know, it kind of it threw them a loop, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they're young, it's an experience, and just too many things were against them that particular day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And 10U, which Coach Anae is going to talk to you about as well, unfortunately, exact same weather that we played in because
Yeah.
we were playing at the same time.
Okay. And tell me about your team, Coach.
Well, we went into this tournament with a dynamic team. We made some adjustments with positions, and I was really expecting a good showing. Day one, we just seemed to crash for whatever reasons. I think the nerves got the better of them.
Okay.
My kids, unlike the 8U kids, are on social media. They know all of the major players playing youth flag football right now in the U.S. And to see those kids out there, like, they got really intimidated.
Oh, boy.
So they were like, oh, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. They could beat us, stuff, rock out this. And I was like, oh, my God, y'all already check out before the game starts.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
And it showed on the field. But I had a good talk with them on Saturday after the 2 games. And Sunday, we really came out with a different mentals and, you know, ready to ball. They actually came out ready to ball. Unfortunately, you know, the weather did not work with us. We were in torrential rains. Like, you could barely see anything in front of you. And I was just too happy that the ref called the game. However, by that time, kids soaking wet. We had to go back on the field. It was literally a swamp. There were puddles everywhere.
I can imagine so.
And they played hard. You know, we scored a touchdown, which was a great feat for us. You know, that was really a positive point from that game. And I saw that they played with more heart on Sunday. I'm sure, weather permitted, we would have done a really great job. I saw us winning that game without those poor
So you
weather
lost all 3
conditions.
games?
Yes, we lost all 3.
Okay. But it was a good experience for the kids.
But it was a great experience for them because now they have learned that, hey, even though these American kids are superstars, we still could play with them, head up with them.
They put the pants on the same leg, same way we do one leg
Yeah,
at a time.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I told them.
Yeah, but that's okay.
So-
They'll take it as a learning experience.
Yes.
And I'm sure next year we'll see a lot different
In
results.
October, I expect to see way more improvement.
I'll take Coach Thompson. He might have a little, luck. Cameron, you like playing quarterback?
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite football team in the NFL? Let me hear this now. Dum. I know. I have a feeling who we can say. Who you pull for?
Eagles.
You don't pull. Wait, hold on. You ain't not a Pittsburgh Steeler?
That's a shocker to me, too.
Well, you may get put on the house.
That's a shocker for me too. I feel like something's getting left in the studio tonight.
Something happened since that trip because I'd heard a different team before.
What was the different team? But you switch? Yeah, you switch. I know why you're going to the Eagles because they winning. That's why. Who's your favorite quarterback? You don't have a favorite quarterback? You mean you don't know what team they play for?
I don't know none of their names.
No, he doesn't know none.
Which team they play for? You don't know? You like the quarterback from the Eagles? Jalen. It hurts.
Isn't that Jalen's?
Jalen Hurts.
Patrick Mahomes.
You like Patrick Mahomes? Okay, all right.
That was the name I heard.
If Kansas City probably will win the Super Bowl, don't come pulling back to me and use the Kansas City Chiefs next time you come on now. You stuck see when you come and tell me who you voted for. Until God call you, You pulling for the Eagles for the rest of your life. You sure you won't hold there now? You don't want to switch now. I'm giving you a chance. Eagles.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Well, this is new news.
Oh boy, you in trouble, babe. And you don't look to come by me because I'm a Dolphin. That can't let you come around by me. So what happened to the 14U?
So 14U, first day, they won their first game 14-0.
Okay. What were they ranked when they went there?
They were 15.
Okay.
They were 15 when they ranked
Okay.
when we first came out of 30.
Okay.
So they won 14-0 the first game, and then the second game, that was against the second seed. I think Goon Squad. They were either first or second seed in their division, and they unfortunately lost to them 22-6.
Okay.
Coming into the second day, as I mentioned, they played much later. Well, I think I mentioned they played later in the day, so they didn't have to play in the rain, but they still had very poor fields because the field was still muddy, swampy, gross. And then they played in very cold weather because the temperatures had dropped. But their first game, they ended up winning 20-13 against the Mad Dogs. So that means that they got to advance to the next game. And unfortunately, so it was 6-7. Yeah. So basically, in there,
And that was an overtime.
and I was just gonna say
quadruple overtime.
Quadruple overtime.
Wow, okay.
So, and we do tell our children that they shouldn't blame like the referees and all this stuff, when they lose. But in that particular game, and this is coming from me, not the children, not
So
the
you
coaches.
see that was like playing against Kansas City Chiefs, with Chiefs and then the referees too.
Well, that's what my son says
Pretty
too.
much.
My son always saying that they, the Chiefs talk to the refs or something.
Oh, they-
Anyway, or pay them or some
They-
foolishness. Anyway, unfortunately, the touchdown that they got, we have a video of it too, but videos don't count obviously when you're playing. But anyway, our defensive player, pulled the boys' flag at least 4 yards before the end zone, but they counted the touchdown. We tried to protest it. Unfortunately, that tournament doesn't allow you to do the protesting. They brought somebody over to the game to monitor the refs just for the rest of the game. By that point, it's too late.
Too late, yeah.
So, unfortunately, that call, in my opinion, would have made a bigger difference in how the day would have gone. But it is what it is,
All right, but that's fine. I mean,
That's,
listen.
it is. At the end of the day, when you go to play, we already know that, well, everybody knows. It's any given Sunday
Yeah.
is what we say in
Yeah.
just regular football.
Yeah.
In flag football, it's the same thing. If you're playing on a Saturday, whatever.
Any given
Plus,
day.
referees and umpires and whatever sport you play, it's at their discretion.
Yeah, and they're
and it's
human.
what they see, and they're human. So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, what he saw and what we saw are two different things. We can't really knock it. We just have to learn to get better so that we don't have to worry about those small, minor things.
And
that
their problem
happen.
is too, they can't let these little island boys and girls come there and beat up on them. The big, great United States and the island boys beat
That's a
them.
great
Okay, and
Pearly.
maybe that's also
it.
because we had some of those issues in the 8U game. The little boy was running out of bounds straight through, like blatantly out of bounds, where the referee even moved out of the way. Never called out of bounds.
Not only that, we have on film, and this bothered me to this day, where the referee is actually fixing one of the kids in formation on side.
Wow.
Like, go there, grab the kid, and put him in the correct position with his hands.
Where was the referee from?
Probably Miami.
Probably Miami.
This was in Miami, right?
No,
No,
this
no.
was who we were playing against
It's
Miami,
Miami.
at the time.
A team from Miami, but we were playing in Tampa.
In Tampa, that's right, that's right. Boy, anyway, you take this as experience. So when you go next time, you beat them so bad they can't cheat.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what we
That's
have.
the
That's
goal.
what we have to learn. Yeah.
So what about the under 16?
So our 16U, this is our strongest team. They have been going to tournaments with us since they were 10U.
Okay.
And they've pretty much stayed together. We've added a few every like here and there, but like the foundation
The core
of
of
this
the team.
team has been with us since then, right?
Okay.
And they've had the same coach since then. So they are a strong team. Anyway, they went there. We were number two. We were ranked the tournament.
Okay.
First day, they obliviated. Yeah,
Obliviated.
like
They
it's
destroyed. They
destroyed,
mashed up. Yeah.
mashed up, like just They won by mercy rule. Anyway,
Okay.
28-0 for
Wow.
our first team that we
Okay.
played. Second team we played, they did kind of the same thing to the second team. So
Okay.
it was 27-2
Okay.
for the second team. And the 2, obviously, that was just I think
Safety?
safety or an extra. Yeah, safety. It was a safety. Right, bad snap, correct. Sunday, they went in as the number 1 seed on Sunday, which is the playoff championship. So they automatically got a bye into the
First bye. A bye.
a bye into the first section, right? So they didn't have to play the first round. And so their first game, they won 27-21.
Okay.
So that moved them on to the next one.
Uh-huh.
The next one, they won 7-6, a much closer game.
Yeah.
And then the last game, which was the championship game. So they went into championships. They played against Mexico. It was a rough one. Unfortunately, they lost 27-0
Oh boy.
in that game. But so something that we say that they're 16U, but technically this is a 15U team.
Okay.
Our kids are pretty much 14 and 15 years old. They didn't have a 15U division, so we opted to play in the 16U division.
So next year they'll be 16U again.
So technically this year coming, they are 16U again.
Okay.
Obviously they would be playing their own age group. But if you think about it, even in a higher age group, they still ranked very high.
That's wonderful.
And they did very well. And even in that 27-0, if you watch them on the field, you would have never known that they were losing.
Okay.
They played extremely well.
They played well.
And they should be very proud of themselves.
I'm
yes.
proud of them to make it to the championship.
Yeah,
That's-
and this is the
that's-
same
that's
team
awesome.
that in October did win the championship in October.
That wasn't the World Championship. That was
No.
a tournament.
It's just a regular tournament. So throughout the year, they have tournaments in a bunch
Yeah.
of different states. You go to them, you get higher, numbers that you add to your ranking.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, all of those teams that have been going to all of those tournaments come to this one tournament, which is the end tournament of the season, which is the World Flag Football Championships.
Super.
So if you win this one, you like the big dog.
But let's take a break. When we come back, we can talk a little more about what we expect for Bahamas youth flag football moving forward. And we talk about getting some of those kids in next week to tell about their experience.
Sounds good.
This is Pearly, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It's a Talking Heads Thursday. I'm excited for my teams. We'll be right back.
Wednesday Lampkin. Besides carrying all the roofing material needed to cover East End, Enterprises also has all the equipment needed to put it together and to protect your workers. At Enterprises, we got hand tools, power and manual, including hacksaws, hammers, mauls, wrecking bars, well, hopefully they won't need them yet, drill bits, tapes, plumb bobs, levels, and more. We got cement, concrete bond and fiber, lime, sand, and P-rock. We got dust masks, safety glasses, gloves, hard hats, and high visibility vests. Lampkin, what we got here at Enterprises is a one-stop shop for builders.
Again, with the new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich, featuring a large 100% premium 120-gram white meat filet, topped with cheddar cheese, smoky bacon, lettuce, tomato, and tangy red onion, all drizzled with ranch sauce and served on a toasted brioche bun. Choose original recipe or spicy, but don't wait. This mouth-watering masterpiece is only here for a limited time and only at your favorite KFC. The new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
And we're back. Talking Heads Thursday on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I tell my flag football people, they usually come and go in the first half, but I tell them stay with me today. We can make coaches help me pick the for the weekend, see who going to win the NFL playoffs this weekend, so we can do that. We should have an interesting talk about Colin Cowher is going to talk about Ben Johnson, who is the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He just took a job, I think, with Chicago, I think. Yes, yeah. So we're going to talk about that, which is, he should be good for Chicago. He should be good for Chicago. What'd you think?
I think anybody be good for Chicago. Right?
You're right there. That's true.
But they need to break that circle of hiring a coach, bringing them half season, firing them, and then bringing a new coach.
I agree with that.
That's killing the quarterbacks.
I think, but Ben Johnson has done well with Detroit. He's turned that offense around. He's good with a quarterback. I think he'll do well there. I think he'll do really well there.
Yeah, they have a pretty decent offense. Caleb Williams just got to learn to get the ball out of his hand quicker.
Yeah.
But they'll be all right next season. They're going to be a team to look out for next season.
I'm interested to see what the Cowboys can do because, I see Aaron Glenn that signed with someone else as well. I can't remember who Aaron Glenn went to, and then Ben Johnson. They were the two front runners that people thought, particularly Naughty thought was going to Dallas. It may be Kellen Moore from is it? I don't know.
It seems like everybody leaning towards Deion.
Nah, I doubt it.
I can't rule that out yet, Pearly. Can't rule that out yet.
I've heard talks that he said he's going to stay in Colorado. He's doing one more year. He's got a good chance. He's got a good chance of taking Colorado to the playoffs next year. He's got the number 1 ranked high school quarterback coming up next year to take over from Shedeur. So he has a really good team next year. I think he should stay and try to see if he can make it to the NCAA playoffs and try to get a college and then move on.
So let me ask you a question, Pearly. If you're a coach and you get the opportunity to coach your son in a bigger league and bigger money in your pocket, you're not going to take that?
Yeah, but Shedeur ain't gonna be a Cowboy unless Cowboys pull off a serious trade to get the number 1 or number 2 or 3 pick.
It's possible.
Yeah, there's anything. Listen, I've seen some things happen. Anything is possible. But we can get to the picks in a minute. Let's talk about what's now. I mean, your season is officially finished now.
Yes, I'm gonna let Nate keep.
Okay.
Talking.
Yes, my favorite coach. Go ahead.
2025 season schedule is already been published.
Okay.
Just some of the highlights we expect for 2025. We'll be hosting a camp from March 1st to the 15th.
Okay.
We also have our high school tournament, which will be going into its third year.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up, right.
Yes, and that'll be in April.
Okay.
Then we have our first little mini season of the year, which is Spring Bowl, and that's going to run from April to June.
Okay.
And we usually try to get in our rookie players or players new to the sport.
Okay.
We try to encourage them to start with this season first.
Okay.
Before they go
Move
into
it to the
regular season.
Okay, that makes sense.
Basically like training camp preseason.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
We also have a tournament slated for June where we will be going to Freeport to play the kids in the league that they have over there. Yes.
Okay. So you're gonna take all the 8U, 10U.
Yeah, the same 4 that we currently have. That's the plan, to take them over to the Freeport and then play the teams that they have. But the thing is, what we always do is we try to see what team ages they have first.
Okay.
So if Freeport have like a 10U team and a 12U team or some foolishness, whatever, then we'll try to adjust to them and bring our teams based off of them.
What they have? Okay.
Yeah, because
you're gonna beat them anyway.
they
so
have
you don't
less.
take advantage.
They have less. Most of the time, the Out Islands have less kids than us anyway. So, like, even when Eleuthera came here, we adjusted to what the ages that they had, mainly because they have less kids, we have more. So whatever they have, we'll work with.
But I was going to ask you: is there any plans to play Luther again, or are you going to get Luther to come to Freeport when you go?
Yes.
Well, and they will get to that one. So there's another tournament scheduled.
Okay.
I'll let Ane go.
Yes. So we do have a tournament scheduled for October, which will include Eleuthera and hopefully Freeport.
Okay.
But before that, we have our regular season, which is going to run from August to December.
Right.
That's the one that everybody looks forward to.
Yes.
And so that pretty much, after that, we just travel.
Okay.
So that pretty much wraps up our season, our highlighted events for, for
outside
2025.
outside of Grand Bahama, Luther, any other islands have flag football?
So we we have in our adult league.
Uh-huh.
There's a guy who's just been transferred to Long Island to work.
Okay.
And we've already reached out to him with regards to him trying to do a youth league in Long Island.
Okay.
So he's trying to get together some flag football in Long Island, where we've already given him some balls and equipment for him to start.
Okay.
We are going to go down and do a clinic with him. So
Okay.
we'll take it down there, do a clinic with him and all his kids to kind of get them up to speed and things like that.
Uh-huh.
And then the goal is that if he can get it established enough and create, A or more teams
Okay.
in a certain age division, then we would want him to participate as well in the tournaments that we do. So we've been communicating with Eleuthera, Freeport, and obviously now newly him. So when we do any of these tournaments, so like when Freeport does theirs, we're going to try and get Long Island and Eleuthera to come
Okay.
to Freeport that
Okay.
time. What we really want is we want each island to kind of establish their tournament date every year,
Okay.
and we'll keep local tournaments. So, for example, if June is going to be Freeport, right?
Yes.
Yeah, June is going to be Freeport. That's their date. So every year we know Freeport. We're going to go to Freeport. Luther will go, we'll go, and then we'll do a little, tournament there. And then ours will be October, so they'll come to us. Eleuthera will establish theirs. I think right now the talk is March, but we're not sure yet. We got to
Okay.
wait and confirm.
Yeah.
But if theirs is March, then Freeport and us will go to them.
Okay.
And so we're trying to get it so that we have enough islands that we can actually do, tournaments throughout the islands, and then like we could even have maybe ours. If ours is at the end of the years, ours could be like a nationals
Right.
in a so to speak, if that makes sense.
Do you have any? And I'm gonna tell you why I'm asking this. I got a phone call this week from my cousin, and he's been talking to a former NFL player who's interested in coming to the Bahamas to do a couple of clinics. Would that be something that?
Of course.
Okay, because I told him I said I have a good connection. I can link you all a bit.
We're always interested in that.
Because
We've had
they're
a couple.
former NFL players.
Yeah.
And they probably a couple of them will come on down and do 1 or 2 clinics.
Yeah, we love doing things like that. So we've done things like that in the past, and we're always open to people coming from, even if it's CFL and or NFL or whatever, college coaches or college players to come, because it gives the children something to look forward to, something to look up to, and then it's a little bit different because if our coaches are constantly telling them the same thing, they ignore us. But then a random new face comes and tells them the exact same thing, and then all of a sudden they get it.
Okay.
Aha moment.
Are there any how to put it, certification courses for coaches in flag football?
Yes.
We do.
Yes,
So
all of our
We do.
coaches are actually certified.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
do a course. And in actuality, right now, we are looking for more volunteer coaches. Our league is growing drastically, and our coaching staff right now cannot keep up with the numbers. And so we're looking for people, anyone who's interested in coming to volunteer as a coach. We have programs running all through the year. You can message us on our Facebook page, or you can email us.
What's your Facebook page?
Bahamas Youth Flag Football League.
Okay, Bahamas Youth, spelled out.
Yes,
Bahamas
spelled
Youth
out.
Flag Football League
Yes.
on Facebook. Okay.
Or you can email us at byffl242@gmail.com.
Say that again.
byffl242@gmail.com.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
One of these days I'm gonna between now and 2026 that I gotta work on. Right? Whenever I finish, right? Hopefully earlier than later, then I'll have my time to do some things. Okay. So, but I'm always excited to have you guys here, and out of all the leagues, you guys are the one between y'all and the road runner, the four seasons road races and the road races that come up. I give you particular attention because I like what you're doing with the kids.
Thank
and
you.
growing them,
I appreciate it.
and seeing that you're working towards making them better young men and women, and their flag football is growing around the world. I want the Bahamas to be one of the leading nations, and I look forward to seeing the Bahamas in the 2028 Olympics.
That's the goal.
That's a flag football team. So when
It'll
you,
probably be that same 16U team that we currently have now. That is most likely going to be.
because they'll be 19ish, 20ish.
That's
today.
going to most likely be your Olympic team.
Yeah.
that
Have you all
goes-
been looking into qualifying or how they qualify or anything
Yes,
like that?
we got all that.
Okay.
We got
So how
it.
does this compete with the big flag football league? Or does flag football league still running? Or just you guys now?
The adult.
The adult
Yeah, the
league?
adult league.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
Season
I don't know
start.
much about
Season
them.
start in March.
Yeah.
You playing up?
Yeah.
Who you play with?
my agent hasn't established a signing agreement with any team as yet.
You have an agent? Who's your agent?
We wish not to disclose any of those information right now.
Your agent isn't a coach in that league.
Pardon me?
Your agent isn't a coach in that league.
Oh no, that'd be a conflict of interest.
Okay. But you know, I do like the Avengers. I think the Avengers is the female team.
Well,
if you want to be on an A's
I played on Avengers male team last year.
side.
So what team I should be pulling for?
She
The
is
Hawks.
The Hawks? Okay,
Yes.
I'm now a Hawk.
Exactly,
This will be my last season playing, more than likely.
What position you
But
play?
I play O-line and tight end.
Yeah?
Yes.
You catch the ball?
Yes, I can catch.
Yeah? I got to come see this. When the season start, send me the
March.
schedule.
March.
Send me the schedule. I'm serious. I'm going to see. I'll be up there and say, give me the H.
I thought you were going to say INNE.
No, I can't let it come on that pitch. I don't know when I get me rock through it there. I know. So outside of the tournaments in the Bahamas, when do you travel, like we say, to foreign again?
It'll be October, so we do the Orlando Cup every year, which is in October, and then we do the World Flag Football Championships every year. Now, mind you, every so often we really do want to try and switch it up a bit, and we find tournaments. It just, unfortunately, we try to stay close to home because of the financial aspect to it, right? So you can only find ones that are going to either be, well, they're barely ever in Miami, but like Miami or Orlando or Tampa.
Particularly where there's direct flights easy to get to.
Easy to, and unfortunately, a lot of the times when they have them, they're like smack dab in the middle of like not a good time, if that makes sense.
understood,
Like last year we wanted to do one, but it was July.
Yeah.
July is rough because there's a lot of parents that travel in the summer and have their
Vacation.
summer plans
Yeah.
ahead of time,
Yeah.
and then vacation's already done, and then you have, they come out of school. Some kids are coming out of school at the end of May, but some are coming out in
End of
June,
June, yeah.
and then you might lose them for a bit, so they don't come to practice enough.
Yeah.
So what we try to do is we try to really, like, that October one works because we've already gotten the kids in the groove of football.
yeah.
They're already used to it.
Yeah.
And then same with this January one because they're just coming out of season. So
Yeah.
we're trying to keep them in when they're like
And the parents don't know anything in October because we travel and do anything in January because we
yeah.
travel.
So every time me and Jason get excited about one or two, and then we realize that that's not going to work. So,
But I want to say this to corporate Bahamas. See, I don't want you to come in jumping on this when we make it to the Olympics.
Right,
Now is the time to put some money into these kids. Anything that's helping our kids grow is what you should be getting to look at sponsoring. Flag football is growing all around the world. It's going to be an Olympic sport. It is growing big in the States. As a matter of fact, in the pro NFL or Pro Bowl, which is their all they're having a flag football game.
Yes.
And so this shows you where flag football is growing. It's an exciting sport. And you don't have to be the greatest athlete to play it. You just have to be
and I
very-
must. So since you used the word sponsor,
Yeah, go ahead.
we do have some really good sponsors, and that doesn't mean that we can't accept any more because it is a costly adventure, especially when we go to travel.
Use your time to thank them.
But we do. So Bahamas Waste, they sponsor our season with giving us, porta potties
Yeah.
and cleaning up and the garbage cans and stuff like that, which is a tremendous help.
Yeah.
We have NSA that works with us, so anything that we do for free, NSA does not charge us for, so that we
Okay.
have field access.
Okay.
Their way of sponsoring with us.
Okay.
We have a new sponsor coming on board, which is RBC.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep. So they are going to be they are our 2025 sponsor.
Okay.
We had Pedialyte in the past for about 3 years. They were on board with us, which was a great. They were amazing. So thank you to them as well. And I'm wondering, Royal Star Insurance. Royal Star Insurance
Who provide insurance for the kids?
no, but they've given us money, so they
Okay.
are sponsors.
Super.
They help us with stuff, and I think I've done. Oh, we did have a lovely donation from a group, Hope Community. Oh yeah. I can't remember. This is really bad of me, but
Okay.
I think it was a group that wanted to give back to something that was gonna, that's helping the community.
Okay.
I think it was called Help Hope Community
But when you
Helpers
let
or
me tell you what to
something.
do. Get that name down, Pac. So next week when y'all come,
Next week
you can
I
thank them
will.
properly.
Yes,
'cause
please.
They may want to give you something and say, they didn't even remember our
I am
name.
so sorry. If Jason was here, he'd be able to blurt it out in
Yeah.
a heartbeat.
Okay.
But they did give us a donation, which was obviously we appreciated. And then we have Fidelity. They
Okay.
are also a sponsor
That's
for us.
Roscoe them, mate. Fidelity Bank?
Fidelity Bank.
That's
yes.
Roscoe them. Yeah, Roscoe Dames. Yeah.
Roscoe.
Yeah.
And we had another donation. Oh, if I'm allowed to say this, I think so.
As long as it's not another media
No,
house.
no,
Okay.
the Olympic Committee.
Okay, fine. yeah.
Gave us a small donation
Yeah.
towards our trip as well.
That's wonderful.
So we are getting blessed, obviously, with people helping us out. But at the end of the day, if we want to continue to grow, then we need to be able to have funds to do
So
that.
Corporate Bahamas, this is a wonderful league, wonderful coaches, wonderful kids. Get there and write. And you know, it ain't got to be $1 million. You know, I mean, $1 million to straight them out for the rest of the
It's
thing.
better than nothing.
But anything you can give, they'll be more than happy. All right, more than happy. Just before we go to the TV break, let's get to the picks. And I wanted coaches to stay here and help me pick for tomorrow. So we know that we've got 2 games. There's two games coming
There's
up.
2 games left.
All right, only 2 games left. The NFC Championship and the AFC Championship. And we've got in the AFC Championship, we've got the what the fella's name?
The Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Again, no, I didn't mean them, not those guys. The other guys I don't really want to talk about.
Josh Allen Bills, huh?
Let me say it. Oh, Lord, I can't even say it good. The Buffalo.
I sure you eat wings, man.
The Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City are 2-point favorite. This is really a pick'em game.
Well, I choose the Chiefs.
You pick the Chiefs?
Only
Coach
because I like Mahomes.
Coach Nate?
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Coach Akeem?
I say upset. That's Josh Allen here to finally get over that Mahomes hump.
And who you pulling for, Cameron, in that game?
Chiefs too.
You got the Chiefs? But you know something? I'm a Dolphin. I will never, ever pull for the Buffalo Bills.
The AFC is right.
I don't care. I go with the Kansas City Chiefs and the 12th man. And then the next game is the up-and-coming, surprising Washington Commanders. I still get used to calling them the Commanders. I still call them the Redskins. At the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia, what do you say, Muffy?
I actually kind of watched a little bit of that Washington game, and
Against
they
the
were
Lions.
kind of
They was clicking.
They were good. So hard one, but I'm gonna go with Washington for this one.
Janae?
Oh, upset.
I'm gonna go with the Commandos. I like them.
Okay.
I like them. Yeah, they've been,
That's that new quarterterback, right? The Jaden
Jalen
boy.
Daniels.
Daniels,
Yeah,
Jaden boy.
I like him.
So I am going to go against the grain again because I'm going to go to more experienced team because Jaden Daniels, he's an incredible rookie. But in these situations, experience always
That's where you
tends to
separate
win.
the man from the boys.
Yeah,
That's
so
kinda true.
and Eagles are at home, so I'm going with the Eagles on those.
And Cameron, I know who you going with, huh?
Eagles.
This was an easy one for him.
I think the game against Tampa Bay was okay. They beat them. I thought that they played above their heads against Detroit. The injuries caught up in Detroit.
Yeah.
I think this is where you're looking good. You're Cinderella team, but this right here is where you separate the champions from contenders.
And the thing is,
The Washington's run defense isn't the greatest. I like Philadelphia. I'm going to go with Philadelphia. We can see a Philadelphia Kansas City Super Bowl. And we'll talk about that part later. Thank you so much, guys, for spending time. I appreciate it. I wish you the best. And anything that we here at Talking Heads can do, we'll be more than happy to help. This is Pearly. It's been a Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, super talking Thursday Talking Heads. We'll see you tomorrow. Naughty will be back tomorrow. He's feeling a whole lot better. I'll be back next Thursday, but I'll be on with Naughty at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you so much. Take care. Be safe out there.
Get to stacking up the flavor at Burger King Nassau with its new Stacker King lineup. It doesn't get any bigger, better, or meatier than the Stacker Kings, which feature bacon, cheese, and a delicious stacker sauce, all piled on as many flame-grilled Whopper patties as you can handle. For the chicken lovers, try the all-new Crispy Chicken Stacker, or pile your mornings high with a croissant stacker loaded with meat, cheese, and stacker sauce on a warm, flaky croissant. Don't miss out on the bold flavors of the Stacker King collection, available at Burger King Nassau.
Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the race, then Fine Threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then Fine Threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place, is your place, is your place.
Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
All my friends in Chicago are freaking out. They got their guy, Ben Johnson's the new coach of the Chicago Bears, and this is what the city wanted. This is what the team wanted. They interviewed 17 people, but you were the hot candidate this year. You know, and it's interesting, Sean McVay, because now you're the second youngest coach in the league. So when McVay arrived, we didn't know who he was. We knew all about you. We saw your playbook the last 3 years. Before we talk about the Bears, what you did is remarkable. What Detroit did is unbelievable. I got gray hair. I'm 60. I haven't seen Detroit win my entire life. What is the one thing in Detroit, because this is a little bit of a rebuild too, that you're going to take from the Lions and you have no problem saying, that was really effective, I'm taking this to Chicago? Culture, coaching, whatever.
Yeah, listen, I learned so much with my time with Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and those guys, and ultimately, it came down to the identity that they established in Detroit was all about grit, being able to handle adversity, and fighting through the tough times. And that's what year one, and you saw it come to fruition again this year with all the injuries that team faced, and being able to still fight through it and come away with 15 wins, a division title, and the number one seed. So, end of the day, this league, it's going to knock you down, and you got to get back up. That mindset and mentality, it'll carry over here to Chicago. It's not going to be said exactly the same way. I'm not Dan Campbell. It's going to be my own spin on it. But really, that identity and those terms will still apply here as well.
So Jared Goff is more of a pocket quarterback. Caleb can do anything, pocket outside. So, you know, you've got 200 plays, 300 plays at your disposal. There are some things you'll take from Detroit. You're obviously smart and clever, and you're not adverse to risk. But does it feel a little bit, as a consumer of your offense, is it a new offense, or do you take bits and pieces of it because you have a different person playing the position and a different skill set?
It remains to be seen. I don't know Caleb like that quite yet, but I'm really encouraged with what I've seen on tape from him so far from this season. On the opposing sideline, I certainly felt his presence out there. He's got an abundance of talent. I can't wait to get to work with him, but he's a different player and has a different skill set than Jared did. And I'll be excited to see what direction we go. It's going to morph. It's not going to look the same as what it did in Detroit. There are a lot of elements that I do believe in. We want the same things to look different. Different things look the same. Multiplicity. We want the defense on their heels and guessing at all times. But at the end of the day, Caleb's gonna really dictate the direction that this offense goes and what we end up looking like.
Ben, it took years for the Lions to build the best offensive line in football. It was through the draft. And listen, I've always had a theory in the NFL. Number one, find a quarterback. Number two, protect him. Worry about the weapons and stuff later. You got to protect him. It's the insurance policy. Colts couldn't do that with Andrew Luck. He retired early. The O-line last year regressed for Chicago. How do you make an O-line, it's possible, significantly better? Is it play calling? Changing protections? Is it the draft? Is it free agency? Because that's pretty obvious. The O-line has to get better quickly. How do you do that?
There's no doubt. It's all of the above. It's everything you just said. listen, we'll be in the player acquisition phase here soon, whether it's free agents, draft picks. We'll look to improve the talent level within that room. We're going to find an excellent offensive line coach that will coach these guys up with the vision that we have in mind here for the offense. And listen, we're going to set a high bar and a high standard, and frankly, we're expecting to come through for us at the end of the day. Play calling, yeah, it's gonna have a say in what this looks like here in the fall. But end of the day, we're going to take all avenues that we possibly can to get this offensive line going, to help Caleb, to help the run game. And that's what we need in this division. Particularly, we play outdoors. We need to be able to run the ball in January and December.
Some coaches want a say in personnel. McVay likes to have a little bit of a say. Shanahan. There are other guys. Andy Reid kind of lets Brett Veach do it. Do you like, some coaches Jimmy Johnson was unbelievable at it. He could have been a GM. Parcells, similarly, very strong. Sean Payton. Are you a personnel guy too? Or is that, hey, you give me the players, I'll figure out the football? How much say in personnel do you like?
Man, I can tell you what, that's what appealed to me so much about this job was the trust I have in Ryan. He's brought in a ton of talented players already. This roster is just overflowing on offense and defense with some great players, great character built in. I really love that about it as well. And so I'm excited to get to work with him. I wouldn't say I'm one way or the other. I really believe that we're going to be aligned, and we'll, as a coaching staff, give Ryan a great vision of what we're looking for at each position and what we want for a Chicago Bear to be moving forward. And I'm just excited to be able to work with him every step of the way here.
Who's your coaching mentor? Who is it?
There's a billion of them. I've had so many. Mike Sherman, early in my career, really showed me the ways of the NFL. Dan Campbell, I would say, is not just a friend, but he has been a great mentor, but in a different way. I've had a number of great influences from a leadership perspective, but also schematic as well. So I can't put my finger on just one. It's really been a compilation of everything that I've experienced so far in my career.
You were up for like every job. Your name was mentioned, single one. Why the Bears?
This place is special. I felt that on the interview. I felt that with the people on there, George McCaskey, Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, the rest of the search committee. I felt really confident in their vision and their direction for the franchise going forward. It was something I wanted to be a part of. I've spent time in Chicago. I know what a great sports town this is. I want desperately to be successful here in football so that they can thrive and they have a team that they're proud of going to the games too. So that played a huge factor of it. It was the people, it was the place. And as I said before, as a competitor, I love this division. There's so many good teams and good coaches and good players in this division. Honestly, as a competitor, I did not want to leave it. This is what I want to go against.
You know, when you have somebody that can do so many things off script, and most offensive coaches come in 10, 12 plays, let's get the ball rolling, let's take a lead, let's catch them, element of surprise. And that's, what I could tell within 12 plays, what you saw as a weakness, what you saw as a strength. And then you have Caleb, who can do so much off script. What is the line when you're an offensive coach from here's the script and why don't you, I'm going to let you make a decision on this. Is there a line in that communication with Caleb is, hey, this is going to be your discretion on some of these plays?
Yeah, listen, there's going to be a balancing factor that we got to work through. Part of his superpower coming out of USC, though,